We're doing 20, 30 minutes of live side split stretching together to practice consistency. And we're going to get started right now with hip cars. All right. Hip car stands for hip, CAR, little s. It's controlled articulated rotations. So we're trying to get this leg to go through the full range of motion that it can have through this hip. All right. And that looks like high knee, open up wide, rotate that leg and bring the ankle up, and then bring the leg back and away behind you. All right. So let's do 10 of those. I've already done like 4, but I'm a little bit off balance now because I'm talking and giggling. And let's go. I think this is number 3 after the explanation. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. I'll switch to the other side so we can give this leg a break. Again, high knee, open up wide, ankle up, down and back. Down and back is whatever you can get. Doesn't have to be, all the way up here. If you can do that, great. I'm stuck like right here. So down and back to the best of your ability. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. Deep space flag, welcome. What have you been up to? I think this is 7, 8, 9, and 10. Can't join. I'm on my way home. Oh, darn. Thanks for hopping in and letting us know. Roxy's on as well. That's why I said us. All right, get home safe. All right, where we just finished. We did the hip cars in the forward direction. Now we're going to do the hip cars in the backwards direction. So we're just going to reverse that flow. We're going to bring the leg down and back first. And we're going to switch to the other side so that this leg can take a break. Bring that up, ankle down, knee forward. Deep Space Black says, just had a few hours long sauna session with friends. I'm beat. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever spent more than an hour in a sauna. That's a few hours long sauna session. I hope you were taking lots of breaks and chilling. That's a lot. All right. We're doing the reverse. So once again, that's down and back, sideways, ankle down, knee forward, back, side, ankle, front, back, side, ankle, front, back, side, ankle, front, back, side, ankle, front, back, side, ankle, front. Pretty sure we've done at least 10. So let's move on. Deep Space Black. Don't worry, I trust you know exactly what's going to happen on the workout. And I trust in your consistency. All right, let's do the other side. Down and back, sideways, ankle down, front. Down and back, sideways, ankle down, front. Side, down and back, sideways, ankle down, front and back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, 10. All right. You might have noticed that my upper body is going all over the place, and that's because I'm trying to lift the leg as much as possible, and in the process, my hips are shifting to go up as well. So that means if I were standing up perfectly straight and not letting my hips move, my leg would only go up to like here or something, right? So like if it looks really impressive that I'm doing this, note that my torso has also moved all the way over there, and it's not as beautiful as a perfectly open 90 degrees, right? So keep that in mind if you're working your way towards some hip mobility. That I think I can lift my knee pretty high up and keep my torso straight. When I'm focused on bringing the leg back, my chest starts going forward, right? If I were to keep it locked straight and down, I think my knee is only going a little bit back, right? So don't let the sort of exaggerated looking leg positions deceive you. Um, Work on the mobility at your own pace and make progress for you, right? We're not competing, we're not comparing, we're just trying to get better mobility for ourselves. All right, that is hip cars, the first warm up exercise to get some blood flowing in the hips. And we're going to move on to the next thing, elephant walks. So elephant walks looks a little bit like this. We're going to get into this L shape, folding at the hips. Try to keep that lower back relatively straight, or at least keep it from moving around too much. All right. I'm going to bend one knee, straighten the other. We're going to bring our chest down again with a straight back. So if you're having troubles with keeping your back straight, see if you can look slightly up, and by pointing your head in that direction, your spine will catch up and do something similar. All right. All right. So bring that belly button down, bent leg, straightened leg. Take that chest and rotate towards the straightened leg and feel that stretch in the outer glute. Nope, my pocket's open. Zip that up and chill here for a second. If you want to feel a deeper hamstring stretch, you can try and bring your chest a little bit lower down. And for funsies, you can add a couple of quick pulses. I'm going to do pulses because the dog almost licked my face and I need to just get out of the way. Oh, wow. He jumped up for it. That's mean. All right, let's switch to the other side. Bend one knee, straighten the other leg. And same thing, try to bring that belly button down. Feel that stretch in the hip and hamstrings. My left leg has a long standing history of tiny injuries that have pieced together into a funky leg. And so this leg is always extra tight whenever I start the stretches. So I spend some extra time here. I encourage you to do the same to take care of that leg, or take care of anything that is feeling a little bit uncomfortable, and give it more love rather than less love. Avoiding the pain doesn't help to train the leg to be stronger, right? Um, Doing very moderate training for the leg that hurts more uh, gives it more stimulus to change and adapt. So, uh, for the most part, try to keep moving and giving the weird leg or weird whatever it is a little bit more love. Nothing extreme, nothing your body can adapt to, just a little bit more love rather than a little bit more avoidance. All right. We have done a whole bunch of these. I think I am at 10 after that long rambly story about my leg. So let's get on to the next warm up, the final warm up, and that is the Cossack switch. We are going to drop down on one side after we widen our stance. All right, wide stance, drop down to one side. Just ignore the dog or appreciate the dog, I guess. You know, my alternative is having him bark at the door. So this, I think, is bearable, I hope. Thank you. All right. Let's drop down to the other side. And come on back over. Once again, to the other side. We're going to do a total of 5. I think this is number 3. We're going to do 5 on each side. Number 4. And number 5. All right, that is it for our warm-up. It's time to get into our stretches. I'm going to casually toss the doggo's rope over to other places. It was originally 3 pieces of rope twisted together. He has figured out how to de-twist the whole thing. And now he's got 100 little threads in 3 different tubes. So maybe he'll figure that out. And then I'll have threads all over the house. What are we doing next? We're doing the hamstring stretch. So If you are slightly less flexible, but plenty strong and have good balance, let's try this variation, the one that I like. And we start by standing up straight, taking a step forward, throwing the hips back, widening the stance for balance as needed. And you should see that your back to hip is pretty much horizontal, but the leg is sort of up in front of you. And this is the angle that we're creating to get into this hamstring stretch. All right. Now, if you want to increase the stretch, think of sitting your butt back a little bit further, right? Enhancing the angle by moving the butt rather than trying to super focus on bringing your head down and throwing you off balance. Okay. All right. Let's take a couple of seconds to breathe. See if we can get a little deeper in that hamstring stretch while I scratch my dog's head and then casually push him away. And he thinks it's a game now. That was a mistake. Let's take 30 seconds and bring our belly button down to our thigh. All right. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, hamstring stretch. As intense as always. Shake that leg out. Let's rotate to the other side. Again, we can start by standing up straight, take a step forward, throw the hips back. Create that hamstring stretch using your hips and where they are in space. Take advantage of all this gravity pulling your chest and upper body down, and widen the stance if you need to for extra balance. And let's bring that chest and belly button down to the thigh. All right. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew. The reason why I do the stretch standing is because, especially if it's your first couple of times doing the hamstring stretch and you're feeling quite stiff, it's hard to get enough of a hamstring stretch from a seated position or from the floor. And you need to push yourself a little bit harder. Doing all that pushing with muscles that are not trained to do a lot of forward folding is a real pain in the butt. So if you let gravity do most of the work and create the angles that you need to feel that stretch without using muscles that are kind of, relatively weak and untrained, then it's easier to get in that stretch as a beginner. All right. But that standing hamstring stretch does require a little bit more balance, requires a little bit more strength and awareness so that you don't fall over. So make the decisions that you need to make based on your skill level and try things out. All right. Next stretch is the butterfly stretch. This is pretty straightforward. It is exactly what you see all the time. I like to rest my butt, my shoulders, my head against the wall to create a nice straight spine, and so that I can focus all my attention on opening up the hips. All right. Pull those feet towards you and engage those muscles we were just using in the hip cars at the very beginning to bring your knees down into the ground. And then from there, add a little bit of weight if you want and apply some pressure. Keep a nice and steady pressure and try to get a little bit deeper as you go. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Benji's licking my arm. He wants some pets. He is not getting any. I cannot reward him for this behavior. He'll have to get them some other time, or I owe him a couple for later. All right. Goodbye, Benji. All right. We just wrapped up the butterfly. Let's get into pancake. I'm going to grab a stool real quick to help deepen my pancake. And I'm going to demonstrate and start it from a standing pancake. All right. So I like to do these with a wall or something very sturdy behind me that I can rest my butt against and sort of create this tripod. My feet are a couple inches in front of me. It is about, let's say, 30 centimeters, 12 inches in front of the wall. And that lets me stick the butt back, right? So same thing that we were just doing for the hamstring stretch where the butt goes back to create the stretch. You can do these sitting on a chair as long as the chair is against something solid and doesn't slide out behind you because you have a lot of weight pushing behind you. I like to use the wall because there's always a wall and not necessarily a perfect chair. Height-wise, and my feet are not super grippy today, so I keep on sliding out. I don't know what's going on, but good thing I have a really low stool I can use for later. All right, so if you have good traction because you're wearing shoes or something, you can now, from this position, fold at the hips and bring your belly button and chest forward. Don't worry if your head cannot get super low. You're already creating that angle in the hips by having your legs brought forward. And that's it. This is the pancake. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. I'm going to get into a slightly deeper variation and rest on the stool so I can use fewer muscles trying to balance, especially when you're first starting. I think there's more value in having the gravity pull you down. But as you get deeper into the stretch, there's benefit from not requiring muscles to stand and balance so that you can get deeper into the stretch. All right. If that doesn't make sense, throw a question in the comments and I'll try to explain it a different way. Otherwise, let's get into the pancake. All right. We're folding at the hips and oh man, I was already stretched out. I forgot to bring my little baby weights to add a little bit more leverage into the stretch. Or folding, 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 folding. Take a couple of deep breaths. So we can get a little deeper. And then let's start at 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, come on back up. Bring those legs in and take a couple of deep breaths. I feel this stretch super intensely in like the deep hamstrings. It's very different from a regular hamstring stretch. It's sort of like it's like 2 layers deeper than the hamstring stretch. If I don't know if that makes sense. That doesn't make sense. All right, let's move on. All right, we just wrapped up the pancake and we're moving into some pigeon. I think somebody just joined. Sam Bam 33. I don't know if you're still on, but welcome. And if you're interested, we're probably 75% of the way through. You can stay on for these last little bit of stretches or come back tomorrow, same time. What time is it now? 22 minutes prior to this moment right now, tomorrow. And I'll see you then. All right. So pigeon stretch is mostly about trying to bring that ankle up perpendicular to your body and bring your chest down towards that leg so you feel the stretch in this outer glute area. All right. And ooh, these parts of the hip tend to be pretty stiff and unused because why are you ever in this position in regular daily life? And that's normal. So when I get into this forward position, I like to move the hips just a little bit around, do some little wiggling to loosen it up, and then try to realign the leg. And I try to put something down, whether it's behind your ankle or just grabbing the foot outright to help keep that perpendicular angle and then bring the chest down. All right. Take a couple of deep breaths here, try to relax. There's a lot of tension in my lower back that I have to think about relaxing in order to get it to relax. And all right, once you're there, let's do our 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it for the pigeon. Let's switch to the other side and do the same thing. Perpendicular leg-ish. Move the hips, get a little bit of blood flowing. And let's bring that chest down. Take a couple of breaths here. Try to relax the low back. And let's do our 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that is the pigeon. We're almost wrapped up stretches wise. Let's get into some side splits. I'm gonna use a stool to lift my hands up a little bit later. They are not essential for this stretch, but they make things feel maybe a little safer, perhaps, a little easier. I'm going to put down some floor mats because I'm not wearing shoes, and I put a lot of pressure on the heels of my feet doing the side split stretch in its current variation. And if you are wearing shoes, you probably don't need them because you got a bunch of cushioning underneath your foot. All right, let's get ready to get into side split position. You can start just by slowly wiggling out, and once you feel like you're getting a little bit stuck and your hips are telling you, hey, what are you doing? I want you to get onto the heels and keep shifting the weight so that your knees, your quads, your toes are kind of pointing up. This is where the stool kind of comes in handy. So I can get into a slightly deeper stretch. Once my toes and quads are pointed up, my hips are a little bit more open due to bone structure stuff, and I can drop a little bit deeper into that stretch. Takes me a couple of seconds to get into full depth. And whew, take a quick break on the stool. And once we're as deep as it feels like we're going to get, go ahead and try to bring your belly button and your chest a little lower to the ground. This opens up the bone structure just a little bit more, and you might get a little bit more out of that split range of motion. All right, I'm as low as I can go, I think. So let's do our 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let's get out of that side split position. Oh, bring those legs together. My legs are always confused for a couple of seconds after getting out of them. So I'm gonna do some high knees. I'm gonna do some almost tip cars, but not really, just until my legs start working again. And I think they're good. All right, that is it for the side splits. We just do a little bit every day so that we can practice consistency and we're never obliterated tomorrow and can't come back. And that's it for our stretches. We're going to get into the next section, tiny bit of strengthening. And we're going to do that with the horse stance. All right. So the horse stance, if you do martial arts, you'll probably be used to something that looks a little bit like this. Your feet are pointing forwards and you bring your hips back and open to get into a horse stance. For our side split purposes, it's totally fine if your toes point in the same direction as your legs, because this is basically a frog stretch, sort of, but rotated 90 degrees. I want you to tuck your butt a little bit. This is a hip rotation. It might look a little bit like torquing so that you can stand up a little bit straighter. It requires flexing the glutes and flexing these outside leg muscles to maintain that position. So you do a little bit more strengthening work. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh man. I don't know if it's because I explained so much, but I feel like I really held that for a long time and my hips are feeling it. All right, let's see. Deep Space Black says, I'm home. I can join for the end here. My legs and rest of the body are like noodles. Hey, if you're already like noodles, maybe you'll be really deep in the side split. Maybe you don't need all of the extra, warm up. You can just focus on the main thing that matters, side splits or pancake, depending on what you want to focus on more. Whew. All right, we got one more horse stance for 30 seconds, and I am recovering here in this position from that first one. All right, let's get that second one done. All right, same thing. Line the stance, bring the hips down. You can choose how you want to point your toes. If you're a martial artist and you're already expert at more martial artsy horse stance, by all means, keep rolling with that. Otherwise, you can kind of align your toes in the same direction as your knees. Open up those hips. If your knees are dipping in, just reduce the intensity. No need to struggle and shake like this. All right, get into position. Tuck the butt, straighten up, and 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. I'm shaking all over the place. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, we're done. That's it. Oh, see, Useless Black has a couple more comments. I'm gonna crawl over. B6 Black says, that's what I thought too, but turns out I am out of strength. Okay. Well, um, you can do a much more passive variation of all those stretches, right? So if we were to want to do a super passive stretch for the side splits, we can. Let me see if I'm centered on the camera. We can get closer to the wall and get into this type of position and let gravity do the work, right? If you're already noodly and lacking in strength for doing anything else, you could probably just nap here. I don't know if that's good for blood flow to the rest of your body. So maybe don't actually nap or fall asleep for 8 hours, but 10, 15, I'm sure you'll probably be fine. I'm not a doctor, so, disclaimer stuff. Uh, consult with your doctor before you sleep in this position. But yeah, if you wanted to take advantage of your noodle-like limbs and all relaxed body, this might be a good stretch variation to get into and just chill for a little bit. I do encourage a little muscle usage here in the hips to see if you can move that leg down just a little bit every once in a while and deepen that stretch. I don't know if you can even see anything because I am staring at the ceiling. But yeah, you can wiggle yourself into a deeper side split this way. All right. Oh, what else can we do that requires absolutely no strength? I think everything requires a little bit of strength. That might be the easiest thing to do to get into the side split. Oh, no. I was going to say you could do the opposite. If you wanted a little bit more weight on your side split, you can do the same thing except in reverse and sort of hold this push-up E position where the legs are just flipped from what we were just doing. And that might work, but that requires some arm engagement. So maybe not. All right. Ugh. Let's get ready to wrap up for today. Deep Space Black says, hope you guys have a nice 4th of July. And he's going to lie on the couch, probably fall asleep. And he's going to be ready to take a nice long deep nap. All right. That is it for today. Thank you for coming in and practicing consistency, no matter what form it took. This isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up and doing a little bit and being consistent with the thing that you care about, right? So thank you again for coming. Peace is Black. I hope you had a wonderful time at the sauna and you get lots of sleep and have the best sleep that you've had in a long time because your body is in a great state for rest. And for everybody else, thank you so much for coming. I will see you soon. If you have not yet, please hop onto YouTube and send me a subscribe so that I can get to 50 subscribers so I can do lives on mobile and not have to do them from a big old laptop. Thank you so much. I will see you same time minus 36 minutes tomorrow. Cool. Bye.